Hi, welcome to the Mid-Missouri Solid Waste Management District. I'm Elise Buckite, the district planner, and today I'm giving a tutorial on our quarterly report process. So we're going to dig right in and keep this as quick and simple as possible. What you see here is the Mid-Missouri Solid Waste Management District website. Our address is mmswmd.org, and here under grants and sponsorships, you can find a grantee reporting page. When we go to that page, we have lots of different forms available, but the one we're focusing on today is this quarterly reporting form. So when you click on that, it takes you over to our Google form, which is where we will be. So what is this? This is our quarterly check-in for active grantees. We have anywhere from 10 to 20 active grantees at a time, and there's just a staff of 2 here. So we have this quarterly reporting process to check in with you, make sure that the projects are on track, and just check in and see if there's any additional supports. So these are due 30 days after the end of each quarter. So that would be July and October, July, October, January, and April. So just those 30 days following the end of each quarter. As for where you can find it, we just went to it through the website. We also will email out a link each quarter just reminding you that it's that time again. But also feel free to save a link, bookmark it, and you can use that. It's the same link every time. We are not trying to micromanage any of our grantees. We trust you all. You got awarded for a reason. We just need to check in and make sure that this project is on track, because sometimes many of our grantees are experiencing the same obstacles, and that helps us report back to the board and let them know what's going on. Maybe this is just a difficulty in acquiring vehicles, which a lot of our projects have faced in the last few years. But also maybe it's something more specific to you. So we want to see how we can provide support, how we can make sure that you have a successful project. This is also our way to collect those responses and pass them along to our executive board and to the Department of Natural Resources. So those are kind of our transparency, our oversight areas to make sure that this money, these public funds are being spent well. All right, let's get into the how. So we have here on our form just a few questions for you. The first one, email, grantee name, project number. Those are just going to be the same for your project every time you complete this reporting form. Some of our grantees do have multiple projects going at once, so do your best to try and make sure that you get that project number in there correctly. Next, you can indicate which quarter this represents. So July through September, October through December, January through March, April through June. And then finally, we get down past that basic info to our actual questions. We have 3 short answer questions here. We have limited the characters, so we are not looking for you to write a whole essay here. Just a few quick updates. And a lot of these do correspond directly to the application that you submitted with your project in the first place. So how much waste have you diverted in the past quarter in tons? List each material and its tonnage diverted. So I've got a grant application up here. This is for Bluebird Composting. They're based out of Fulton, and this is a project that is still active right now. Bluebird diverts food waste, so they had planned for 1,620 tons of food waste. So whatever you have planned to divert, or maybe additional materials that you were planning to divert, which you are able to measure with tonnage, that is what you're going to put here. If there's anything that's, maybe a certain number of tires or a certain number of other materials that you're not recording in tons, you don't need to put them here. This is just what you are diverting in tons. So the next question, what other measurable outcomes have been achieved? This is where you could put, 3 refrigerators were diverted from the landfill, or any number of things. This much clothing was diverted through our swap shop. So something that you can have a number for, but that is not specifically tonnage. If we go back to the Bluebird application, they have some other measurable outcomes, and you likely had some in your application as well. So for Bluebird, it says that they are intending to market the food waste program to restaurants, grocery stores, and food service businesses, and then potentially doing a green food recycling program with recycling awards. So one of the things they could put under other measurable outcomes is how many businesses they have recruited, how many grocery stores have been added to their rotation. For an education project, this might be how many classes have been held, how many students have been reached, maybe how much sales have increased if you have a resale shop. Any number of things can be there, and you don't have to limit yourself just to what you had in the application. Although we do want to see how it is going compared to the application. You may find that things have adjusted a little bit, shifted. Maybe you thought you were going to do all of these classes with the Boy Scouts, but then through the process of delivering some of those classes, you had an opportunity to go share elsewhere and kind of have a more of an impact. So it's okay if that doesn't look exactly the same, but that is what it's referring back to. All right, our last short answer is how has the project period progressed during the past quarter? So in your application, and this will look a little different depending on when you've applied with us, you have some kind of work plan and timeline with tasks. Our newer grantees will have those listed by quarter, but our older grantees will have an application that lists it by month. We know that projects fluctuate and change. Sometimes, just waiting for a bid, waiting for, your purchasing department to let you know what you can go ahead and procure, or maybe things are out of stock. Things can be really, really up in the air. So we just want to check in with you and see how have things progressed. Maybe the answer here is that you were just waiting for things. That's okay. Just let us know that. We want to just make sure that you haven't gone off and forgotten about this project. So you can say, we are still waiting on our supplier for X, Y, and Z materials, or the contractor for the construction was not able to get to work yet. So we look forward to that hopefully in the next quarter. We're looking for like less than 350 characters here. So think about doing like a tweet and a half worth of information. And if you just put there like things are progressing as normal, or, maybe you've already bought the equipment and you're just doing the collection of materials, you can just say continuing collection, no issues. That is just fine. Now at the bottom, we have one more question. Do you need to request any changes to your project budget or extend the timeline? So assuming everything is good, you'll put my project budget and timeline do not need any changes. But if you do need some changes, we will be going over that in another video. All right. Thank you so much for all of your work reporting, and we just look forward to your project success.